We're going over how to make your high school soccer team in this video. We're going to be giving you some tips and things that you can do in order to make sure you're ready when tryouts come along for your school team. So if that's something that interests you, keep on watching. Hey, what's up guys? Dave here from SimplySoccer, where we're working to help you improve your game and stand out on the pitch. On this channel, we release weekly soccer tip, technique, and training videos designed to help you do just that. So if you haven't already, consider subscribing and hitting that bell icon so you don't miss any new content from us. Now, in today's video, we're going to be giving you some tips on how you can actually make your high school soccer team. Now, although this is titled and directed more towards high school players, you can definitely get some tips and some benefits from watching this video if you're going out for your middle school team or any other school team or club team. Basically, these are things that are going to help you be ready for a tryout or be ready to actually start and get minutes on whatever team you're going out for. So tip number one is an obvious one and one you probably already know about, but you just probably need a little reminder, and it's make sure you are preparing for this tryout. And what I mean by that is you cannot expect to rock up to the tryout not having prepared. You can't expect to only have a week until the tryout is coming up and then start preparing. You need to be preparing as soon as you can, months in advance to this tryout. Now, if you are watching this video in June, when I'm releasing it, the middle of June, that means you have a couple of months until the school season starts, which means you have plenty of time to prepare, but you need to start now by disciplining yourself, doing the right things, working on your fitness, and basically doing all of those things that are going to help you walk into your tryout in a couple months' time completely prepared, in shape, ready to give your best performance and show the coaches what you can do. Now, if you're watching this a little bit later and you don't have as much time, you still need to do everything you can to prepare, but just keep this in mind next time you have a tryout that's a few months away. Be preparing as early as possible, because the last thing you want to do is go into that tryout, like I said, unprepared. And trust me, a coach is going to know whether you've worked at your game, at your fitness, at your health, and everything that you need to make the tryout or not. They will know almost immediately which players are coming into preseason or to the tryouts out of shape, which players have been working on their game, and which players have not. So be one of the players that the coach immediately looks at and goes, that guy's committed. He's been working on his fitness. He's been working out this summer. And guess what? That's immediately going to make a good impression on the coach, because he knows that you're a hard worker. He knows that you are committed to making the team. You're not someone who just thinks he's going to walk on the team by showing up. You're someone that actually put the work in and is doing everything possible to make sure that you make the team. And coaches love that level of commitment. So number two is to be playing often this summer or whatever season you're in right now. And I mean playing on a team. Now, we will get into individual training in a moment, but I want you to be getting match experience, because you don't want to go a whole summer or a whole however many months not having any exposure to actually playing in matches. I don't care if it's 7v7, 8v8, or 11v11. I want you playing in some kind of team environment as often as you can. Yes, individual training is going to be super important, but there are things within 11v11 or 7v7 or team games and matches that you cannot learn within individual training. You need to get used to working with players. You need to get used to using the space available to you in a proper match environment. So I encourage you to get on some kind of team this summer, if it is the summer for you, or some kind of team, whatever season it is. There's always teams around that you can play on in the winter, fall, spring, summer, doesn't matter. Especially this summer, there are definitely a lot of 7v7, 8v8 things going around. So get yourself on a team, use your individual training as well, but get yourself on a team, get some match experience that's only going to come in handy later when you're playing for your high school team or going to the tryouts. Okay, so tip number three is make sure you're working individually on your game. Now, this is where you're going to grow the most. There are things within team games or in real matches that you're going to learn that you cannot learn in your individual training. However, a lot of your growth when it comes to your skill, when it comes to your ability, is going to happen during your individual training. So make sure you are disciplining yourself. You get yourself on some kind of program that you've either created because you're experienced in creating them and you know how to do it, or you buy a program or find a free program that you can follow. It's super important that you are following a proven system, because if you're not and you're just winging it, you're not going to be able to measure your results. You're not going to be getting as much benefit as you possibly could, than if you were working within a system. So if you can afford it, buy a program that's specifically for the summer. There are many soccer-specific programs out there that are for preseason or for the summer leading up to the season, the off season. So get on one of those and work as hard as you can on that system on your individual game, because your ball control, your ability with the ball at your feet, all of these fundamental things you want to be working on are going to show up during the tryouts, and coaches again are going to pick up on who has been working on their game during the summer. You can't expect to not be playing all summer and then just get to the tryout and be amazing. It's not going to work that way. And trust me, there will be players who during the summer are working on their game, and you want to make sure you are one of those players. So this summer, instead of just doing distracting things, playing video games or hanging out with your friends all the time, although you can definitely do that, make sure you're also doing individual training every single day. You're off school now. For most of you, you have all of this free time for the most part. Use it to your benefit to become a better player. You have plenty of time now to get in shape. You have plenty of time now each and every day to be working on your game. Take advantage of this time and then go into your season well-trained, well-disciplined, and ready to go. Okay, number 4 may apply to some players, but not everyone, and it's make sure you're working on position-specific skills and work. And what I mean by that is if you know you're a striker and you've always played striker and you're probably going to play striker on your team this year, or that's just your position, or you have few positions but you know what they are, work on things that are specific to that position. Although you have 2 months from now, from when I'm making this video to when your tryouts are, that's still a limited amount of time, and you want to be working on the things that are going to give you the most bang for your buck. What I mean is you want to be focusing on the areas that are going to help you have the biggest impact. For example, if you're a striker, you want to be working on your finishing and your shooting and your movement and getting into goal scoring positions more than you would work on your passing, let's say, or your defending. Now, I'm not saying neglect those areas of your game, but there should be something that you prioritize that's going to help you stand out the most. Let's use a winger, for example. If you're a winger, you want to be working on your one-on-one situations. You want to be working on your crossing. You're not necessarily going to be working on dictating the tempo or playing from the middle of the park, or again, other areas that don't apply that much to your position. Again, you want to have some time for all of the fundamentals, but you want to be focusing more on the things that are more specific to your position. Okay, and number 5 is one that's actually very underrated, but it's start developing a good attitude and be someone who's coachable. Now, this may not seem like much, but you want to know what type of players coaches like. They like the following players. They like players who are leaders, and proper leaders, not kind of facade leaders, leaders who actually lead by example and work hard. They like hardworking players, and they like coachable players. Now, there's obviously more things, and each coach has specific things that they will like, but one of the things I want you to start becoming is coachable. And what that means is you need to be willing to listen to advice. When a coach comes up to you and tells you maybe to work on this area, actually listen to them and show them that you're listening, and then work on that area. Be a player that proves to the coach that you are willing to learn and you are committed to becoming a better player. You are committed to being the best possible player you can for your team so that the team can succeed. And if you show that level of commitment and you show that you're not just in it for yourself, coaches are going to love you. So be learnable, or be someone who is willing to learn, be coachable, and develop a good attitude. You'll be surprised how many players, have bad relationships with their coaches because they have poor attitudes, or they make excuses, or they blame others. I used to have a poor attitude in that way, and it cost me playing time on certain teams. So make sure you're developing the right kind of positive growth attitude that coaches love. All right, guys, so those are 5 things that are going to help you make your high school team. Now, most of these tips are based off of the idea, or based off of you having a bit of time before your tryout. Now, if you don't have that much time, do what you can to try and prepare for this. But if you do have a few months or a couple months before your tryout for your high school team, or even before your season, let's say, for example, you have a high school team that doesn't even have tryouts, there's no cuts because you don't have enough players for cuts, still do these things so that you're one of the main players on the team. All these things are just going to help you improve to make that team. So even if you're on a team that doesn't do cuts, do these things so you're one of the main players on the team. Because it's not enough just to make the team. assuming you don't want to sit on the bench. So do the things that are not only going to get you on the team, but also get you minutes and playing time and hopefully a starting spot on your team. All right, guys, so question of the day is, did I miss anything? Please put in the comments other things you think will be helpful for players trying out for a team or for their high school team. For you high school players, put the things in the comments that have worked the most for you throughout your high school career so that players either trying to make the varsity team or who are going into high school know some of the things that are going to help them succeed at that level. Thank you once again for watching. Please hit that like button and share this video with someone that's going into high school or has their high school season coming up so they can see this and hopefully stand out in their tryout and make the team or start for the team. As always, I will have 2 videos come across the screen so you can continue to learn and grow as a player. We will have a podcast out tomorrow. Well, actually on Sunday. We're going to be doing the live stream tomorrow because Sunday's actually Father's Day. All right, guys, so thank you so much for watching once again, and I will see you in the next video.